Welcome to the Wrestle Story. I can't hear the music, so I can't tell you when it's about to end.
That was epic. Our best intro yet, folks. Our best intro yet.
Well, you know, when I can't hear it, it's like weird.
Our best intro yet. But here we are. Hello. What's up, people? Welcome back to the Wrestle Story, where we discuss all things wrestling.
Yes. Can everybody hear us okay?
Are we good?
Like...
Because Mr. G can't hear anything.
But we can hear stuff on the stream.
I don't know why he can't hear anything. But he can't.
It's not because I'm deaf.
Hey, Scott. What's up? Hey, Jonelle. What's up? WWE developmental talent tested positive for COVID. Sending prayers. Honestly, it was only a matter of time before somebody tested positive.
When you let people go home and things like that, that's what's going to happen.
So, I hear everything.
Good.
Great.
So we sound good and everything good.
Good.
I couldn't hear it.
What up, folks? How's it hanging? Hey, James. How we doing?
James.
So, tonight's show...
I thought it was a solid show.
It was actually really good.
I thought it was a good show.
It was actually a really good show, and that rarely happens.
Yes.
But this was actually good.
Yes.
And I was actually kind of shocked.
Shocked.
Actually.
Actually.
Maven is sponsored by NXT. Yeah, it's the yellow and black. We got yellow and black tonight. So, it's cool
Yellow and black. She's the killer bees.
Sure, we can go with that too. It's fine by me.
Yeah.
Whatever. So, hey folks.
So I have a question for you guys. Can we get Christian and Randy Orton Extreme Rules? Why do you think this is one off thing? I have thoughts. I'll tell you what I think here shortly.
Well, we got a lot to get through. Because there was a lot that happened on tonight's show. Like, honestly. I feel like everything was, like, it was all good. And it just went into, like, one segment to the next. And it was just, like, the flow of the show was really good. And it was all, like, it worked, you know? But a lot happened.
Yeah.
So, let's start with the beginning of the show.
The beginning. That's a good place to start, is at the beginning.
Randy Orton came out, and he was like...
How you doing, Zendo?
He gave Edge closure, and he says, you know, I wasn't the last man standing at WrestleMania, but I was the winner of the greatest wrestling match ever. So that makes me the greatest wrestler ever, right? Cool. He thanks Edge, and, well, he then talks about Edge.
Oh, it was pretty good, Zendo.
Tearing.
I thought it was pretty good.
His tricep. It is true. The rumors are true. WWE has confirmed it. Edge did tear his tricep, and he had surgery.
Yes.
And so he's going to be out for a while.
Yes.
So, sad. It's a sad day in wrestling. Because Edge is out again.
Out again.
But he'll be back sometime.
Sometime in the near distant future.
Hopefully. So,
Viking Raiders got me wanting to do karaoke.
Christian then comes out, and Christian is, you know, talking about stuff, but this line killed me. Okay, I kid you not. He goes, "You're cold. You're calculating. You're a son of a bitch!" And he said it, like, just like that. And I was, like, dying laughing because it was so funny. Like, just the way he said it. Like, if he had said it any other way, it would have been cool, and I wouldn't have laughed at it. But this was, like, really funny the way he said it. It was just hilarious. So, Randy then tells Christian that he's just out here because he wants one more match. And Randy then challenges Christian to an unsanctioned match because he will not get cleared by WWE doctors. So, Christian is left with that. Is he going to answer the challenge? Is he not? That was kind of the whole running gag throughout the entire rest of the show.
Yeah.
So, we have that. Cool, epic. I thought the segment was good. I think it really didn't take all that much time. It was short, sweet, simple, to the point, and it got the message across that they needed to get across.
Definitely.
It was good.
It was good. I thought this whole show was pretty solid, I thought. One of the better Raws they've had.
Agreed.
And the way they started it, I thought was good. And I felt pretty much the whole show was solid.
So, after that, we got an Angel Garza interview. He's talking about his match with Kevin Owens, which is next. So, Kevin Owens and Angel Garza, this was fine.
I'll tell you why they're wasting Liv in a minute, James.
This was fine. This was cool. Didn't necessarily have a problem with this. All of this is leading to the bigger picture of the Andrade and Garza feud.
Yes.
That's what it's doing. And so I'm excited to get to that because now Zelina is kind of like, I don't want to deal with either of you. You know, you both suck. You both are being idiots. And I don't really want to deal with either of you. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see who she takes in the feud, if anybody. So I think that'll be exciting. And I think it'll be a good match of Andrade and Garza. But Kevin Owens and Garza was fine. It was. I mean, it's not like we haven't seen it before because we have. Kevin Owens ended up winning, and that was that.
Yes. Again, it was a good segment. I thought this was perfect, setting up the whole Garza, Angel Garza and Andrade split up. The way they did it was done really well.
I agree.
I think this is, without just having them totally split up right now, I think one of two things are going to happen. They're either going to get back to, they're going to figure out, okay, this is where we messed up. We need to fix it. Or they're going to completely split up and you'll see them feuding.
I think they're going to feud. I think that would be the smart direction to go because, not that them coming back together as a team for some time wouldn't be, it's not like that wouldn't be fine and good, but I think that splitting them up, giving them a great feud with one another could be super cool.
Do y'all think that Apollo will join MVP and Lashley?
I'll get to that in a minute.
Yes, I will get to that in a minute. I read list sports are done on things you'll never see again in WWE. When they said no more mid-Foley like bumps. Nah, I don't think so either.
So.
Unless it's Shane McMahon. Question, why does Zelina Vega manage her husband if you don't work out with Angel Garza? Yes, she could do that.
Can you imagine Zelina Vega managing Aleister Black, though?
I don't think Aleister Black needs a manager.
Exactly. I mean, it'd be cool, but...
Well, what's she going to do? Walk out and wait for him to get through his intro with his coming up out of the ground? And
I don't know, man. So,
I don't know how you do that.
After this, we have a Drew and Lashley recap. And then we go to Lashley and MVP. This segment, if the rest of Raw was terrible, at least we had this segment. Because this segment was so good.
I had Charlotte Flair in my house for a minute.
It was so good, and I loved it.
Maven went, woo!
So,
and I was like,
MVP?
For hating Charlotte Flair, you sure to use her signature, sound.
MVP was a superstar in this segment. Bobby Lashley was a superstar in this segment. Lana, not so much. So, I love this. MVP was legit on a roll. He was like, Bobby Lashley should be WWE champion. He would be WWE champion if Lashley's fool for a wife didn't come out last night and mess everything up. It is 100% her fault. It is her fault. 100% her fault. There's no other way around it. It is her fault. Lana then comes out and is like, well, you see, it wouldn't have been my fault, and it wouldn't have happened if you just hadn't banned me from ringside. And I was like, go ahead, run your mouth. Run your mouth. It's fine by me. And then after that, MVP and Lana were all like, they were going back and forth, and it was great. And then Lashley took the mic, and he was like, all you wanted to do was put our personal life out there on the internet to get famous. You wanted to get famous. None of it was ever about us. You just wanted to get famous. And then he was like,
famous.
I want a divorce. And I got up and ran around the kitchen 3 times and screamed.
No, you didn't scream.
I went, woo!
Yeah. Woo!
But a lot louder than that. And
Charlotte
it was amazing. It was amazing. This was the best segment ever. Hashtag thank you, Bobby. Hashtag thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby. Because, oh my gosh, this was amazing. Greatest segment of all time. Like, I mean,
Lana deserves better.
if we're just throwing out the term the greatest whatever of all time, I mean, this is probably going to go down as the greatest divorce of all time. Like, I mean, truly. It's just, I'm so excited for this because Lashley and MVP together are just magnificent and amazing. And I love them. And they're going places. MVP is like a superstar of a manager. And I am
he's a superstar manager, but I will tell you what. Lashley sounded better on the mic tonight than he has in a while.
That too. Now, I will say, in the segment before this, when they were backstage talking, he was like, yeah, tonight we got to take on that goof, R-Truth. And that, long pause, Drew McIntyre. And I was like, that Drew McIntyre? That Drew like, what does that even mean? He redeemed himself in the following segment, though, when he was like, I want to divorce Lana. And so, it was amazing, and I loved it. So, after this, we have Profits, Raiders, and Ninjas. This is another...
Raiders and Ninjas. It's a new movie. They're starting a new movie. It's called Profits, Raiders, and Ninjas.
This was...
Or we're going to call it Raiders, Profits, and Ninjas.
I don't know what to think of this, but it was like, I got a good laugh
Ninjas,
out of it.
Raiders and Profits. Or Raiders, Ninjas, and Profits. Oh my.
I don't know what this segment was.
I
don't know what this segment was, but I got a good laugh out of it.
Do I need to yell so people can hear me?
Like, I mean...
That's because I'm in the cheap seats.
You're not... We're legit in the same spot, dude.
I love the Viking Profits.
You cannot say that you're in the cheap seats because you're right next to me, bro.
This was good.
You just don't speak loud enough. You're like, yeah, guys, tonight's episode of Raw was amazing. Like,
well, that's because you get excited and
see, I think that right there, what I just did, I think what I just did right there.
I guess y'all will sleep better after what happened to Lana. I will, James.
Yes.
Definitely. Maven won't, because she's going to be thinking, woo, all night long, and Charlotte Flair.
So, that was epic. Epic segment. So, Profits, Raiders, Ninjas. Oh my.
Profits, Raiders, Ninjas.
This was also, like I said, I don't know what I'm supposed to think about this, but this was like, I got a good laugh. So, the Profits, Raiders end up winning this match. Because they were fighting the ninjas.
I would agree observing stuff. I said 7.5 or 8 out of 10.
And then the giant ninja shows up, and they're like, yeah, who's going to fight him? And then, of course, because who else would fight him? The Big Show shows up. And, yeah, it was just epic. Hold on one second. There was a tweet here that I missed. Something about the person that tested positive for COVID. I have to find it. This is what happens when I check Twitter in the middle of a sentence. Ah! Where is it? Where is it?
When the Big Show came out, I got hyped. The thing is they were like, he's the biggest guy in professional wrestling or something like that. And yet, probably, because that other guy's like 7'3", so he's going to be bigger than the Big Show.
And, like, for a minute there, I thought we were going to get another heel turn, and the Big Show was actually going to be a ninja. Like... I for a split second, he was going to be a ninja.
I think maybe he's the Charlotte fan.
That's what...
She is.
That's what I was thinking.
They're going to make Natalia
didn't fight the Big Show.
I'm calling it right now.
No, they're saving Big Show versus the Giant Ninja for Extreme Rules.
Great, I hope so. That'll probably be an exciting match. Two big men that don't move real well.
When they say the biggest, they're usually talking about the weight of a person.
I don't know how much the guy that's 7'3" weighs.
He's kind of like a twig. He's like real
he is
tall.
Very muscular.
I mean, he is, but he's kind of like a twig. And he's like real tall. Much different build than Big Show.
I'll look it up.
So, yeah.
I will look it up.
That was epic. So, after this, we have Christian backstage, and Christian is like, yeah, I don't know if should I do this? Should I not? I don't really know. I just don't know. And so, that was that. And then we have Seth. I like this segment, too. This is another one that I got up out of my seat laughing. This is amazing.
By the way, it's not often you see a 7'3" ninja.
I mean, true. So, this was another great segment. Seth was calling out Ray. Dominic ended up showing up. Seth is like, Dominic needs to join forces with me, and he'll be great. And then Dominic shows up out of nowhere. He does, like, a clothesline to Seth, and it was, like, real good. And then he takes out the rest of Seth's squad. And it was epic. Like,
I thought it was good.
Like, Dominic is actually...
Gonna turn.
Huh?
He's gonna turn.
Okay, he might, but that's not where I was going with this. Dominic, I kind of like this. And you all know how I feel about superstars' children entering the business. I mean, i.e. just somebody who I very much so dislike, who's riding her father's coattails. But I digress. We'll get into that another time. Like, I feel like Dominic actually has a shot to be pretty good. You know? Like, he's like bigger than Rey Mysterio. Yes. But I feel like because Rey is his dad, he's gonna get a lot of like the skills of the lucha dudes, you know? And so I feel like that's gonna make him different than a lot of other people, where he's got the size, but he can move around in the ring like a lucha dude. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I feel like that could be really cool. Like a cool combination to watch him do that. I hope all of this makes sense. Because nobody's saying anything.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Nobody's stopping me going, whoa, 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 whoa. What you talking about, Willis?
No, you're...
Like...
I think you're doing a good job here.
Okay, thanks. He's taller than Ray. I don't know about bigger weight-wise.
Well, I will say he looks more muscular now than he did the last time we saw him.
I agree.
So I think he's been working out.
He's been training.
So I think that'll help him out.
So I think he has a shot to do really well. Like, really well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm ready for Dominic to become a full-time wrestler. Okay, the other running gag is, how do we spell his name? Because WWE has spelled his name like 12 different ways. They spelled it Dominic, like Dominic, Dominik, and then they spelled it with both the C and the K.
So
and people are like...
Not 12.
People are like, what? WWE doesn't even know how to spell this kid's name.
If we just call him Dom, D-O-M, we don't have to worry about the Nick. We don't have to worry about how to spell it.
The way they spelled it on the graphic tonight for the show is they spelled it with the C and the K.
Yes.
So, I don't know, man.
Maybe he doesn't know how to spell it.
Maybe somebody should just look it up.
He signed everything different ways.
Probably want to spell his name wrong on purpose so Vince can own it when he probably leaves in the future.
Yeah. Ask Siri.
Dominic... How do you spell
W always makes the name short, so it's Dom. Yes, Dom. Coming to the ring, it's Dom. We don't need the Nick, because it really doesn't matter. And this way, WWE can go, we had no clue how to spell his name. We messed it up many times.
Dominik. See, WWE didn't spell it right. They've spelled it about 12 different ways.
Rules, Women's Championship, Nia Jax, the other person. Woo! Yeah.
No. So, I like this segment. I thought it was good.
Yes.
So we have that. We then get Truth, Lashley, and MVP. Oh, and Drew. Drew was in there too.
Yes.
I forgot. I just didn't say his name.
R-Truth is hilarious.
So, they have their match tonight, and it's now a winner-take-all for the WWE Championship and the 24/7 Championship. Because Truth said so. He was like, yeah, we'll do it. And Drew was like...
You just put my title on the line?
Truth!
Yeah.
What are you doing? And it was hilarious. So, we had that, and we'll go back to that segment in a little bit, because we go back to it again. We have Liv and Natty versus the Iconics next. The Iconics win, as they should have. And then they challenge
R-Truth is awesome. He fought a ninja into the ring.
They then challenge Bayley and Sasha not Sasha, not Salsa, Sasha, to a tag match next week for the titles.
Yes.
So, we have that. We then go back to Natalya and Liv. They're backstage arguing, and Natalya is like, I see why Ruby Riott dropped you off the face of this earth. I see why she was like, I can't deal with you anymore. I see, like, why she just left you. I see that you're just, like, terrible. And, like, you don't know how to be a good tag team partner, and, like, you have no discipline, and you're just, like, terrible. And I'm just like, Natalya, shut up. Please and thanks. So then Liv shows up, or Liv walks away, and Lana shows up. There's too many people that have L's.
I was gonna say.
So Lana shows up, and now Lana and Natalya are related. Like, they're, like, relating to each other, and I'm just like, what is happening in the world? Lana's like, I know what it feels like, Natty. And then Natty was like, I know what it feels like, Lana. And I was like, what?
I feel like I'm going to have a divorce tonight.
So this was...
My husband's going to dump me and say I want a divorce.
And this was so, like, I don't know, man. It's a pretty great impression, though. Like, it was pretty spot on. And that impression of me sitting there going, Natalya, can you shut up, was also pretty spot on.
Yes.
So, I don't know, man. They're going to be a tag team, I guess.
Probably. Which I think will work out. I mean, if the women's division is going to have they need tag teams. Except what they need.
Both Natalya and Lana suck. So, I mean, just saying. Yeah. They're not going to be a very popular tag team.
Thank you very much.
Well, it says that Natalya's garbage. She has the personality of a wet washcloth, and that's insulting to the wet washcloth. And
Natalya
Lana
sucks.
has, like, too much of a personality that isn't good.
Well, again, like I said...
And her in-ring skills are garbage.
Maybe she'd use that voice all the time.
I'm just saying.
Liv carried that match.
Until she got pinned.
Yeah, that's all that matters. It's whether you win or lose. Doesn't matter if you carry a match.
Which, with the, that tag match, that's the one thing that sucks about that, is, like, Liv ate the pin. It wasn't Natalya. I would have been fine if it was Natalya, but Liv ate the pin, and that was a little disappointing because you can't sit there and try and push her for things if you have her losing to, like people.
But if it's a tag match, it doesn't matter.
But, like, yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I would much rather have seen Natalya eat the pin than Liv.
Doesn't matter, though.
Natalya should have been
I don't think it matters. In a tag match, it really doesn't matter.
In Lana's defense, how many matches had she had? She could have been training in real life. In my defense, Lana sucks. And she's never been good. I don't care how much training she does, she's just garbage. Like, have you never seen an episode of, like, Total Divas? Because when she's training in the ring, it's pretty much like, oh, it's awful. It's awful. And, like, have you seen her matches on WWE TV? Those are also awful. Like, she's just not good. She doesn't know how to wrestle. She is, like, no.
Wasting Liv.
She doesn't know how to
James
wrestle.
Is a Liv meltdown here.
Like, I don't know, man. I've never seen an episode of Totally... Well, maybe you should, because you just gotta... Yeah, man. It's rough. It's
Observing
rough.
stuff, I haven't either. I've seen parts of one.
It's rough.
But I have never seen a full episode of Total Divas.
It's rough. Natalya on Total Divas, I also dislike her. But that's cool. Natty just whines too much about everything. It's like, I should have been in the first ever women's tag team championship match. And I'm like, Natty, shut your face. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your family name is.
She is the best there is, the best there
like,
was, and the best there will. No, wait.
Shut up. Like, I'm over it. Like, you're garbage. We know you're garbage. You have no personality. And you're trying to push these storylines that are good. It's not getting you anywhere. So stop trying.
Yes.
I mean, I hate to be that person, but just stop trying.
I hate to be that person, but I'm going to be.
Like, you're not getting anywhere. And it's just annoying. Like, man.
Annoying.
So after this, we had Shelton Benjamin versus Apollo Crews. I love Shelty B.
This was good. I thought that I liked his. The only thing was, it's like he talked about winning the title and going with MVP in his little like promo thing, and the whole thing was like confusing on what he was saying. But other than that, I thought
his entrance.
I wish
so
he
good.
would have like his whole promo thing would have been good if he just wouldn't have talked about like, well, you've been trying Apollo Crews, you've been being recruited by MVP. If I were you, I'd go with him. After I take the title from you, you're gonna wish you were with MVP. And like what?
So we had that, and that was cool. And I love Shelton Benjamin, and I love Apollo Crews, and I think MVP. Yeah.
I think that eventually what you're going to see is you're going to see Apollo Crews go with MVP.
I think you're going to see both of them go with MVP. I think putting Lashley, MVP, Shelty B, and Apollo all together and make them like a faction, I would love it.
James, I thought Becky was number one.
I think it would be epic because there was a video on WWE's like Twitter or whatever, an exclusive of after the match. MVP went up to Shelton and was like, "Hey, give me a call. We can work something out. I'll be your manager, bro."
Yeah.
So it's
I'll
coming.
be your manager, bro.
It's coming, and I'm really
I'll
excited
manage
for
you,
it,
bro.
because I think
Bro,
Shelton, Apollo, and Lashley, like as a faction, I think it could be really cool.
I agree.
Like, all three of those guys are uber talented, and so they could go places, especially with MVP as their mouthpiece.
Yes.
Like, it could be epic.
Maybe there's a lot of fan.
No, I'm not. Lana sucks. She's garbage. She can just go away. I don't like her. So, Apollo retained his U.S. championship,
Yes.
just in case that wasn't clear. We then have an Asuka and Nia recap, showing their match from last night. Man,
Because we didn't know what happened.
was it bad. It last night's match, it was just not good. Like, not at all. It was just not good.
No.
It was not good. It was not good. Not at all. So, we then have Truth and Drew. And Truth is like, hey, I went and I talked to some people, and our match tonight now is only for one of the belts.
This was hilarious.
It's no longer my 24/7. It's just our match tonight is a tag team match, and your WWE Championship is the only belt on the line. And Drew was like, so my belt is the only one that's on the line. But I thought
Yes, this was sweet.
your 24/7 title was on the line. He goes, yeah, no, not anymore. Not anymore. I talked to some people. My 24/7, 48/7, 7-Eleven, I-95 South Television Championship is no longer on the line.
Yeah.
And Drew is like,
Definitely a good segment.
Cool.
R-Truth is awesome. And I like the ending to this match, too. But the whole thing all night was set up perfectly. There's a lot of times I don't like watching them set stuff up throughout the night because it ends up being stupid. But I thought tonight that this whole R-Truth and McIntyre and MVP and Lashley thing, I thought it was set up well all night long, and it led to something. And Truth is hilarious. A lot of people that probably don't like him because, he's kind of a jokester, but I think that's what makes him so good.
he is so good. And I love R-Truth. He's just epic. So, after that, we have the Prophets and Raiders, and Big Show shows up and he says, well they're backstage.
Here's the thing. If R-Truth cannot be champion, he's one of those guys that doesn't need to be champion. It's okay if he's the 24/7, I-11, 95, North, South, East,
You
West
didn't say
champion.
it right.
Well, whatever.
If you're going to say it, you got to say it right, man. The 24/7,
Hey, I haven't practiced it like
7-Eleven,
24/7,
48/7.
7-Eleven, 48/7.
No, wait. Now you got me questioning how it goes.
Yeah, I told you.
I just said it.
So I just,
Truth is the 24/7.
It's cool if he's the 24/7 champion.
48/7.
Because they've kind of made it a joke.
7-Eleven.
But he doesn't need to be the champion.
South.
Because he's good at what he does. He could be a manager when he's done wrestling.
South.
Because of the way he talks and what he does on the mic.
I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. You've got me thinking it's all wrong. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Yes.
I really do.
Anything I can do to help you out.
So, Prophets and Raiders are backstage, and they're arguing over what their next battle should be. Who's going to be better than the other in the Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better series? Big Show shows up, and he says, you know what I think would be a marvelous idea? What if, next week, you, Street Profits, aren't you the Raw Tag Team Champions? They're like, yeah. You, Viking Raiders, aren't you the former Raw Tag Team Champions? Yes. Why not, next week, here on Raw, you two fight each other, and the winner walks out with the Raw Tag Team Championships?
Yes.
And they're like, what? I've never thought of that idea. You idiots, it's your job to wrestle. It's your job to defend your Raw Tag Team Championships. That shirt that the Profits gave to the Big Show, I don't think it's going to fit him.
I don't think it's going to fit over his arm. Forget fitting over his
body. I'm sitting here going, what?
It's going to look like a bra.
Oh, man. So that was great. All it took was Big Show. Big Show telling them, you guys should have a tag team championship match next week.
They had a poster of WB 2K19 in the background of one of the segments. They know 2K20's
I know, right? I died I was like, you can't. They're not even promoting their last game.
No.
They're promoting 2K19. Jeez, man. Jeez. So, after the Profits Raiders segment, we get Lashley and MVP versus Drew and Truth. Drew and Truth end up winning. Truth ends up pinning MVP, and it was a great, good time. It was epic.
Yes.
So, cool. We then have Bayley and Sasha. It's epic.
Yes.
Love them. So, Bayley talks about it being her birthday. It's like, it's my birthday! So we're having Bayley celebration all week long. On Wednesday, we're defending our tag team championships against Shotzi and Tegan. And on Friday, we're going to have a celebration. And that's it. And then the Iconics come out. And they're like, well, what about our challenge that we put out, ladies? And they're like, no. We're better than you. We know it. And we're awesome. And then Peyton ends up slapping Sasha. And then Bayley's like, what? It's my birthday. How could you be doing this? And then they accept. And Sasha's like, how could you? And so, that was that. It's pretty epic.
Yes.
And it was cool. They're 100% turning on one another. If that hasn't been made perfectly clear, I don't know if we're watching the same thing.
I think they're going to turn on each other eventually. It's just a matter of when.
Exactly. It's a matter of when.
Yeah.
So, next week, Rhea is returning. Now, I got a couple questions about this, because if y'all didn't see the tweet, I mean, it was kind of hard to miss because the font was, huge. Rey Mysterio put out a tweet earlier in the day talking about his, Dominic coming to the Performance Center. And I'm just going to show you here. Do you see this? This is how big the font is.
No, nobody sees it.
In this picture. I'm sure everybody can see it.
Yeah, they're all like, oh yeah, I can read exactly what that says.
I'm not telling you to read it. I'm telling you to look at how big the bubbles are.
Yeah, we should have copied and posted that.
Folks, I understand Rey is working with
Rey's blind, okay?
one eye, but, and I hope that's the only reason that font is so big.
Why? Rey can't see.
But I don't think
you making fun of Rey?
I don't think it's safe. I'm a little concerned.
I can't believe you're making fun of people that can't see.
I can't see.
James has.
I'm a little concerned.
James,
I'm a little concerned.
Do you have bigger font on your phone?
I'm a little concerned that Rey Mysterio probably shouldn't be wrestling if he needs the font to be that big.
It's Bayley's birthday. Yes.
I'm a little concerned.
We told her happy birthday.
I'm a concerned citizen.
Yes.
I'm hoping the font is that big just because of the injury to his eye because of Seth. But I'm a little concerned.
The one-eye mask was cool.
Like, man. So that was that. So he's coming back next week. We got that to look forward to. Hopefully he's not wrestling. But, it's fine. It's cool. We then get Nia versus Asuka.
There's soap, Maven. I have a bigger font on my phone.
But,
See?
that's abnormally large, though. It's, huge. This big. For one text message. And I'm like, whoa, Ray!
I think
Ray!
Dominic's turning. Dominic's going to join Seth's team.
Ray, I don't think you need the font to be
That's
that big,
man.
man.
That's how they're going to bring him in.
So it was a little concerning. And I was a little bit concerned.
And then Dominic's going to throw his dad into the side of the plexiglass stuff. So then I can always say he was thrown into a building, off a building, and now he's been thrown into plexiglass inside a building.
So we then have Nia and Asuka. This was better than last night's match, but not by much. It was I don't want to see this again.
We got to win. Somebody won.
I mean, Asuka won this time.
Yeah.
Nia ended up pushing the ref. And then Asuka got the roll-up pin. But, it's, so big, though. It's, huge.
Jeez, I can't believe you're making fun of people that need to have their text.
I'm just saying, though,
maybe
but,
you wanted to make the text clear to the camera.
I mean, maybe, but we didn't need it to be that big. Because now people are like, Ray, are we sure that both your eyes are, are you okay? Because people are like, dude, I don't know if you should come back to wrestling if your font needs to be that big.
This way, if he has to, have the phone out this way,
but
and, he's looking this way, he can still...
You could read it from across the room!
Well, maybe that's what he does.
I mean, but, geez, man. I'm just saying.
So when he's charging his phone, he has it sitting there.
I'm just saying.
See?
It's a little...
James uses Zoom on his iPhone and iPad. What is wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying, Ray is wrestling, and I don't know if it's necessarily safe for the person that he's wrestling if you can't see them. So...
Probably what's happened is he's probably had damage done because he's been thrown into a building, off a building, had his eye gouged out. So what do you expect?
The ref was about to disqualify Nia, but then he was like, oh, I'm about to make this.
I think probably what he did went, oh, wait. Last night there was a count out, so we better have a winner tonight.
No, but then, he was like, he got the pin, and Asuka, did the roll-up, and he was like, and then it was out of there. It was the quickest pin ever, and it was...
That's because he was like, oh my god, this
the quickest count ever. It was so funny. So...
James, I'm defending you! I'm on your side, James! You guys don't... It isn't you guys that are heartless!
It's just me.
James turned on me! He went full heel on me!
Oh, man. So...
I was trying to help him out, and he stabs me in the back.
Oh, man, that was amazing. Huh. Man.
It was just a rant at James. I'm defending James here, and James has stabbed me in the back.
So after this, we get Christian versus Edge. Christian comes out, and then Ric Flair comes out. Well, Christian and Edge. Did I? I wrote Christian versus Edge.
Yeah, you wrote Christian versus Edge on your notes. Good job.
What?
Christian is not facing Edge. It's Christian and Randy Orton.
That's what it was.
That ref had gotten a push. I don't know him, but for some reason I imagined him saying, oh, this heifer about to see how fast I can count to 3.
So that's John Cone. Does anybody remember Nicholas? Nicholas, was the tag team champ with Braun for a minute.
Yes.
Nicholas is John Cone's son.
Well, that explains everything.
So,
his son was a tag team champion.
So he's the top all-star ref.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, folks. So Christian was not fighting Edge. Christian was fighting Randy Orton. And, So
Nobody paid. No, everybody's left the room. They're not paying attention.
But see, the funny thing is,
Christian versus Edge happened.
Nobody's like stopped me.
And everybody's like, okay. Whatever. Christian versus Edge. Yeah, okay, get on with it.
They didn't even catch what I was saying.
We're not even sitting at the monitor listening right now. We just got you on.
So, Christian versus Randy Orton.
There, John L. See, John L. caught it.
Christian versus Randy Orton. Jeez, man. Aye. So Christian comes out, and Randy Orton comes out.
I think we put people to sleep.
And they're hanging out. Raw sucked.
I thought Raw was good.
I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yes. I thought this is the best Raw they've had in a long time.
I agree.
I knew the last match would be a squash match. But they did it better than expected. Yeah, they did. I was not expecting it done that way. Now, Ric Flair is going to have to explain why he did that.
No, he doesn't have to explain Dark Squad.
Yeah, he does, because...
No, he doesn't,
yeah,
because it makes perfect sense, and I'll explain to you why it makes perfect sense in just a minute.
Okay, we'll
explain. If we get through this segment.
Ahead.
So, Christian comes out, Randy Orton comes out, not Edge, and then Ric Flair comes out, and I'm all like, old man, what are you doing out here? Go away. He says, no, this isn't happening,
He was trying to stop Christian from going out there.
No,
so
he wasn't.
Sense.
Christian was in the ring.
Rick is an old, washed-up scumbag.
Hey, man.
I thought it was good.
So, is Ric Flair too old to get beat up?
Yes.
Then again, they could beat him up off camera like Batista did.
Yeah, they could do that.
I mean, they could. So, Rick is like, no, Christian, this isn't happening. And Christian's like, Rick, I have to do this. And Ric Flair's behind him, and then Ric Flair's all like, ah! And he hits a low blow. And then Randy Orton punts Christian's head in, and that's it. The match is over. And then Christian gets taken off. Taken out by a stretcher. But the funny thing about this entire thing, Christian's feet in the end were crossed. Like he was like chilling in a seat at the pool or something.
He was tired.
His feet were crossed. And I was like, how did they like, you can't sit there and tell me that they just naturally went to that position.
They did.
Like, you didn't just get, like,
you got knocked out.
Your face kicked in, and then your feet were like,
yep.
Like, you can't tell me that just happened.
The
like,
feet came together.
Man, I died. It was real funny. So, Ric Flair.
Well, then you sit there and you're watching him lay there, and like, when Randy Orton hit his face, he's probably got to be like, oh god, I got to keep from laughing here. I got my feet crossed. I'm sitting here, and I'm like,
and then Randy uncrossed his feet in the end. I was like, that was gold.
Help him out! Get him out of here! Wait, I gotta uncross your feet.
So, man, this was a segment. Ric Flair. You want to know? Ric Flair doesn't need to explain himself. He doesn't need to.
Why?
Evolution. Does that mean anything to you? Evolution.
Okay, explain to me.
Evolution was Ric Flair, Batista, Randy Orton, and Triple H. Okay. Ric Flair has openly said he thinks Randy Orton is the best wrestler in the world. He has openly said that Randy Orton is, like, one of the greatest of all time. I know where this
is headed. Ric Flair, Randy Orton.
One of the greatest of all time.
Edge and Christian.
So, Ric Flair doesn't need to explain anything because Ric Flair was on Orton's side to begin with.
He was an old man when I watched wrestling.
So, Ric Flair has quite the nerve telling people not to wrestle when he has been an old man since before I even started watching wrestling as a kid.
He was an old man watcher. He was an old man wrestling when I watched as a kid.
I mean...
So, yeah. I got the feeling when Ric Flair did what he did. Explain, Jonelle. We want to hear it. Why do you
Now you tell me why he needs to explain.
I think he needs to explain because since he was in the back telling Christian, hey, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this.
Because he knew what was going to happen.
Okay, so then why did he leave him lay it out? Oh, here, I'm going to low blow you and leave you laying there and let you die.
Because
Randy Orton's going to kill you.
Because he thinks... Because.
He will have to explain because Christian's going to go, what are you doing there, buddy?
What are you doing there, buddy? Just like that?
Yeah.
He's going to come out and go, what are you doing there, buddy?
Yeah. I saw the Buddy Rogers, so I was like, what are you doing there, buddy?
I'm starting to think him and Buddy Rogers were a lot closer in age than we think.
Yes. They probably were.
So
anyway, I think there's two ways they're going with this. Edge and Christian are going to form the Brood again.
But you need Gangrel. So.
Well, they don't need Gangrel. They can just do those two.
I mean, they could, but they need Gangrel. Otherwise, it doesn't
And
work.
the other thing is, Randy Orton is part of the Fiends group.
Why?
Because it's that hurt heel thing. Every time you look at what he's done to Edge and Christian.
Rick was probably
and every
20
time he
in the
keeps telling
1920s.
them, he keeps telling them that, like, he'll hurt them, and then he'll go, I'm sorry, I had to do this, I'm sorry, I didn't want to hurt you, but I had to do it.
I mean,
So
I
it's
think
that
there's
hurt
a
heel thing going
possibility
on.
they do that. Speaking of Bray Wyatt will be on the show on Friday. I know we were just talking about this like yesterday, where we were like, oh, they're gonna have there's gonna be so much talent that isn't gonna be around.
Yes.
Well, apparently Bray Wyatt's back. Honestly, if I were Bray Wyatt, I'd be sitting there saying, he could probably do his Funhouse segments from home.
I would not be surprised, James, if Dakota and Raquel do not show up. I can see them doing that.
Like, honestly, Bray could probably do his segments from home.
Yes.
And so, I mean,
Fiend
if you
returns,
want
Fiend can
to.
do anything right now, and it'll be acceptable. Yes, I agree. What happens
So-
to Bray Wyatt on SmackDown?
Well, so to see him, I don't know. I don't know where he's gonna. I don't know who he's gonna go after. I don't know what he's gonna do. I feel like, I mean, there's a possibility that they could do the Braun stuff again, but I don't know if I necessarily want to see that. I mean, I'm sure it'll be good because the Fiend makes everything good.
No, he doesn't need to do the Braun.
But-
I think they're probably going to do it that way. But
I don't know.
think he doesn't need the Braun.
I don't know what he does. Maybe, you know what I think would be cool? I think
Thanks, James.
if he went back to Miz and like Morrison, because they kind of did that whole thing and then just like ended it abruptly, like without any like explanation why, and then they went into the Daniel Bryan stuff. So I feel like, I don't know, maybe they could do something with that, but I really don't know what else. I don't even know what else they could do with him right now. I don't know what direction to go with Bray that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
what about Jeff Hardy?
Well, they can do a lot of things with.
Because Jeff Hardy and the whole Sheamus thing at
He
this
could try
point,
and
Jeff
bring-
Hardy is
He
like,
could try and bring Jeff Hardy into his
lost.
group. I
you know,
suppose.
I don't know. There's a lot they could do with it.
We were wrong. Tozawa was one with the bigger brand push.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know what they'll do with it.
So news. Fiend should take the Orton route. He should be neither a good guy or a bad guy. He should just be a crazy random guy.
I thought that's what he was.
Maybe he is. So I don't know.
There's rumors going around. Sonya Deville is going to be off TV for a minute to play Batwoman. I've seen that rumor too.
So news.
If we could get our inside sources to help out, we would let you know. We'll work on that. We'll find out for you.
Okay. A statement from WWE's Associate Medical Director. A developmental talent who was last on site at WWE's training facilities on Tuesday, June 9th,
Don't ever do that again, Mr. G.
has tested positive for... You're ruining the news segment. Has tested positive for COVID-19. Since that time, no other individuals that attended the facility have reported symptoms. However, out of an abundance of caution to ensure the health and safety of the company's performers and staff, all talent, production crew, and employees on site at the training and production facilities will be tested for COVID-19 immediately. Following the test results, WWE plans to proceed with its normal television production schedule. Dr. Jeffrey Dugas?
Dr. Jeffrey Lucas.
What kind of a name is that?
That's his
Jeffrey Dugas, WWE Associate Medical Director.
Yes.
Okay then. So,
you're ruining the news.
they
I'm sorry. My bad.
they have another talent that has tested positive for COVID-19. Now, from another thing that I've heard, it's not a like wrestler, it's a production staff person. That's what I've heard. That's what I've
The Fiend should
seen.
challenge COVID-19 to a Firefly Funhouse match. They'll probably have someone that actually they call COVID-19.
Probably, because it's a Vince thing to do.
Or his brother, COVID-20.
I'm pretty sure it was Gimme Hole Yeah who said something about COVID-18.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, I think there's a lot of...
Yeah.
There's a lot of...
Maven has suddenly gone British. Yeah.
I have?
Yeah.
Oh, I did. That's weird. I don't know why I do that.
You watch too much British TV.
Not really. I mean, 90% of the people that I talk to about wrestling are
That's
like,
what I'm saying. From
British.
England.
They're, like, not from here.
Yeah.
But, I mean, whatevs. Cool. So what's the other thing that you want to talk about? There was something else somebody challenged somebody to a wrestling
Hellboy.
match?
Challenged the guy that played Hellboy. I don't know what his name is. It's Ron Perlman or something like that. He challenged Ted Cruz and to a wrestling match. And it all started because... Let me see if I can find it.
See, you don't even know all the information.
Well, Mrs. Gleen showed it to me.
Oh, man. Jeez.
So here's what it was. Actually, what it was, it says like root. You have it backwards. My bad. It was I had it backwards. Ted Cruz challenges actor Ron Perlman, who is Hellboy, to wrestle Jim Jordan after he attacks, is it Gates?
Why?
So Senator Ted Cruz challenged actor Ron Perlman to a wrestling match against Representative Jim Jordan, Republican of Ohio, on Monday, with Cruz predicting the Sons of Anarchy and Hellboy star couldn't last 5 minutes with the former collegiate athlete and coach. The challenge came after Perlman and Representative Matt Gaetz, Republican Florida, got into a Twitter spat over U.S. soccer removing a requirement to stand during the national anthem before matches, which included Perlman calling Jordan the ugliest politician walking. Listen, Hellboy, you talk good game when you've got Hollywood makeup and stuntmen, Cruz tweeted. But I'll bet $10,000 to the non-political charity of your choice that you couldn't last 5 minutes in the wrestling ring with Jim Jordan without getting pinned. You up for it? Or did your publicist say too risky? Perlman responded with some colorful language before saying he would wrestle Cruz while offering to donate $50,000 to Black Lives Matter if he were to lose. I tell you what, Teddy boy, since mentioning Jim Jordan in wrestling is problematic, why don't we say, beep him, and just make it you and me. I'll give $50,000 to Black Lives Matter, and you can keep all the taxpayer money you were thinking of spending. Oh, so it wasn't even a win or lose thing. It was just he was going to give $50,000 to Black Lives Matter.
Even better.
Yeah.
So, man.
So then Ted Cruz says, listen, Hellboy, you talk a good game when you've got Hollywood. Title Jim Jordan. So yeah, like there's been a lot of back and forth.
Epic.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And
I've heard of Ted Cruz before. I've never heard of the other guy. But cool.
Ron Perlman's like 70 years old. So yeah.
Well, I mean, whatevs.
I get my test back Wednesday. Cool. Stuck in the house all day, so I get sick of this rain. Yeah, I know the feeling, James.
I like
I know
rain.
the feeling.
Rain is cool.
Yeah.
But like, maybe not.
Who do you think it was? Who do you think is the producer earning premiere? Yeah, I don't have a clue what John was trying to say there.
So, got any other news?
Nope, that's it.
No, that's it. I'm
Yeah.
not seeing anything else.
Kind of lost some people here, so we're down to.
I'm not hearing.
We're down to 3 people.
I'm not hearing. I'm
All
not
right,
seeing
with that, we're
anything
gonna
else.
take off. It's been fun. It's been real. Speaking of news, are you all aware that Rusev has a Twitch channel?
Oh! I don't know why she said Rusev, but the article about the Saudi thing.
Oh yes.
That was the other news.
Yes, Rusev has a channel, and
Rusev-
now she just remembered that Rusev. There is news, breaking news that Rusev.
It's not breaking news that
It's not breaking news
said
that
something.
Rusev said anything, but it's
But
breaking news
I
that
feel
some
like
superstar that was released
went
talked about what
on
happened
record.
at.
Talked about the thing.
Talked about what happened at
Saudi show.
The Saudi show.
Let me find it. To me, based on what was said, I feel like, I don't know why, but my mind goes to Rusev first as being the person that that gave out this information. I don't know why, but it just
Dana
does.
needs a push.
Hashtag
Would you like someone to
no.
push her over?
Hashtag no.
Knock her down?
Hashtag no. Oh my gosh, I can't. Oh, there it is. Anonymous WWE employee.
Anonymous. There's a lot of anonymous.
Anonymous former WWE employee gave insight on this issue. So there were unconfirmed reports that the Saudi government held up the WWE plane due to a monetary dispute between the Saudi crown prince and the owner of WWE, Vince McMahon, because he cut the feed to Crown Jewel and Saudi over the dispute, whatever. So a class action complaint? What does that say? Complaint? Filed lawsuit thing. They filed something. Things I don't know. And then after that, a wrestler referred to as CW2 has come forward and said some things. He says that McMahon and others, including Hogan and Flair, were in a hurry to get out of Saudi on a separate flight. And when their plane was delayed, their plane, the Superstars plane that this dude was on, a stewardess told CW2, someone doesn't want us to leave the country. And then she sounded... Oh, Mrs. GB sent me articles. Thanks. I'll look at that one second. And so, he...
Our news people are on
this person talked about...
information train. Good night, James. Have a good one. We'll see you
guards
Wednesday.
Blocking the exit and stuff. And then it said when they went... where is it? I gotta find the part of the article. There. It says when, after they got back, they told Talent Relations that they would not be going back to Saudi, and they said that other wrestlers tried to do the same thing, but WWE abused their power and had threatened their careers. First off, why? How can you do that? Yes. Because you have other people... that have said they will not go.
They don't need to do a Saudi Arabia show anymore. No, I agree. They don't need to do a Saudi show.
Sammy, Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan, they will not go. They've said they will not go.
If they all stood up and said, hey, we're not going and sorry, but you can stick it, then what's WWE going to do?
They all said that we are not going, and those guys are not getting fired. They're not getting threatened to be fired because they're like, no, we're not going for this reason, or this reason. But when these superstars who went over, and we're like, dude, we barely made it back, we're not going again, when they're sitting there saying, we're not going again, and then they're being threatened, and they're being told, oh, well, then we're going to fire you. What is that nonsense?
I just tell them, we're not going to be decapitated for
you.
Sorry.
It's ridiculous. I don't even know how they can do that because
Saudi Arabia again.
There are people that they are... fine with not going, but then there's others when they're like, sorry, we're not doing this again based on the situation and everything that happened. No. We're not doing it. They're like getting threatened and their like jobs are on the line. It's like ridiculous. And I don't even understand how that's like okay to do. Like, it's garbage. So that was that. And so yeah. That was kind of another article that I was like,
Fired Florida data scientist creates competing COVID-19 tracking site suggests state is hiding important information.
Huh?
Florida fired the person that was in charge of all the COVID information.
Oh.
And because she was releasing
I
numbers.
think Sami Zayn.
And then all of a sudden they had like 3 months or 3 weeks, so where like information wasn't put out, so their numbers weren't going up. So this person has now created another site. Governor Ron DeSantis said last month that Jones was dismissed because she didn't listen to the people who were her superiors. In other words, what she was doing was she was putting data on the portal which the scientists didn't believe was valid data. So in other words, she was probably telling the truth and got fired for it.
Select amount of fans attend tonight's WWE Raw. WWE Raw didn't just feature WWE Performance Center trainees in the crowd tonight. There was also a small group of legitimate fans in tonight's show. It says that the fans are friends of the performers and that some of them were there. Great. We're letting people in. I don't care if they're friends of the performers or not.
Yeah.
They're still fans. Doesn't make any difference to me. This is not a good idea.
No.
This is really not a good idea.
No.
this is like really not a good idea.
Definitely not.
And if I haven't made it clear enough, this is really, 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 really not a good idea.
Great thing to do in Florida. Yes, because they hide things.
Yeehaw. That's not good.
No, not good. Not good at all.
Not good.
But they've been hiding things in Florida for a while.
I mean,
I think
I
Texas
wasn't necessarily talking about that, but that's also not good. But this is also not good. Why? I don't like the whole
Zandel,
thing.
here's a question for you. Because aren't you you're in Texas, right? In case there isn't the fire scientist own data backs that up. Yeah, I know. Because I think
Oodang.
does Zandel hope he's in Texas or
are you in Texas? I hope. I'm sorry, but that was really funny. Just
where
the
did Batista
timing.
go?
The timing of that.
Batista has retired, I believe.
Yeah,
He's doing movies.
he did. He's doing movies. His movie, the spy movie that we wanted to watch before COVID, messed up the world.
Yeah.
We were gonna go watch that, and then it's gonna be on Amazon Prime within the next couple weeks.
We'll have to watch it.
I know, I'm really excited because I really wanted to see it.
So Zandel, are they talking about cases going up in your around your area? Because I know Houston. Because I think you're around the Dallas area, right? Or Austin. I know they're talking about Houston. The numbers in Houston have gone up. Not just the number of people that have been positively tested, but their hospital numbers are going up at a rapid pace.
Oh, dang. That's not good.
Because testing positive doesn't mean that, you're going to be hospitalized. The problem is it doesn't, you don't necessarily go to the hospital right away. You may be 10 days into the sickness and then have to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Batista has retired, I believe, and is not going to be wrestling anymore.
Yeah, that's what his match with
He's going to do movies.
With
numbers have gone up all over
Triple
Texas.
H. His match at WrestleMania 5. It was 35. It was last year's WrestleMania. Jeez.
He would clap anyone. Yes, definitely.
So that was his retirement match last year.
I don't know if you saw
it was so long ago.
Mr. Boo Radley. I don't know if you saw his I think it was on Twitter. Him thanking Donald Trump. If you haven't seen that, go check it out.
It was really funny.
Yeah, because it was hilarious.
I died laughing.
Yeah.
I saved the tweet so I can go back to that some days to get a good laugh because it was really funny.
All right. We're going to take off.
Numbers have gone up all over Texas.
Yes.
Dang.
We will be back. There's lots of states that numbers are going up. Hospitalizations are going up. I think in about 10 days you're going to see lots of people in the hospital. 10 to 15 days will be a lot of people in the hospital. And I've seen where the age group, they've had a lot of 20 to 44-year-olds that have been hospitalized. So,
guys, you know what I've just realized?
It's not just an old person thing that's happening right now.
Do you know what I've just realized?
What did you just realize?
We made it through an entire Raw without a certain somebody on the show.
Yes. Woo!
That's monumental.
No.
That is
But there was a Flair on the show.
But it wasn't the Flair.
Oh yeah, my bad.
So I feel like that's one giant leap for WWE and one even bigger leap for me. So
I just decided to give you a break because after she wins all the belts.
No, but she'll be back on Wednesday. I almost guarantee it because we got, Miss Io Shirai on that show. So,
yes.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take off. We'll be back Wednesday with our AEW NXT recap. If you want to go check out my Patreon or our Patreon channel, go check it out. I'll be posting another article probably tomorrow. You can check it out. See what I have to say. I thought Rick was the Flair.
No. I mean, neither of them are the, Flair. But, I mean, they both suck.
All right.
But this particular Flair sucks, more than Rick does. So.
Yes.
But they're both terrible. I'm just saying. It's the truth. So, I mean, whatever.
All right. We're going to take off. We will see you Wednesday. Be looking for me to stream here in just a little bit on Twitch. Mr_Gleen.
Yes.
I'll be starting with Fortnite.
Go check it
we'll see what gets in there, 'cause
out.
I want to check out what happened with the update. So we'll see you later. Peace out.
Guys.